And one of the topics that was so hot last night, we're talking about in the middle of the night, New Year's Eve, was Trump doubling down on the H-1B stuff. This is something that is still very controversial. A lot of people talking about that. A lot of people say that this is the way, this is not right. I have a more nuanced take, but this. Trump publicly addresses his position on visas and immigration. And this is a problem that we have been talking about immigration in two ways. The first way is getting all those people, especially the criminals, deported. And the other way is the highly skilled workers. And there's a big issue with that. He says, he's always felt we need to have the most competent people in our country. There is a massive difference between millions coming illegally across the border unchecked and legal immigration for highly skilled individuals. I'm going to generate the subtitles from this. And I'm also going to bring some of his remarks from past years, which are important in this regards, because he in 2016 had I'm not gonna say a different take, but it was kind of a different. I'm saying it's gonna be a bit noisy. It's not generating the captions because it's a bit noisy, but we can just watch it this way while save this image, and we can listen to him. This is the video that sparked that conversation last night.
Why'd you change your mind on H-1B visas, sir?
I didn't change my mind.
I didn't change my mind, he said. I will try to make the translation here because it's really noisy.
I always felt we have to have the most competent people in our.
I always known that we have to bring the most competent people to the United States, and that's what people are complaining. And there competent people in the United States right now. That is a huge concern.
Our country, we need competent people. We need smart people coming.
We need competent people. We need smart people. I'm going to tell you, if you have 3 million, more than 300 million Americans, how can you find those people? Because again, this is very easy. If you need to screen those highly skilled individuals abroad, why don't you screen for highly skilled individuals inside the country? It's very simple, because you know for a fact that so many Americans have been marginalized by DEI. This is something that I don't like. This is something that I really don't like. It's very simple. Anybody could say, hey, you know what? This is a worldwide brain marketplace. We need the best of the best. We're gonna make sure that we spot the best of the best inside our country and outside our country. Why can't he say that? I don't understand.
Into our country, and we need a lot of people coming in.
We need a lot of people coming in. We need a lot of people coming in. Again, I am not against bringing the best of the best brains. But I see this conversation, and I would like to hear, we are going to have some kind of programs and some kind of initiatives to identify who are the brightest inside our country and bring meritocracy back into our country, and all those people who have been marginalized by DEI and all this. Oh no, you're white, we cannot promote you. Oh, you are such and such, and we cannot give you the job. There's going to be, I guess, I don't know why it would be a controversial thing, because everybody knows that that's what has been happening. Maybe, I don't know, his advisors tell him, oh, you cannot say that you're going to, he could be talking Americans in general. He could be talking American in general, because he could say, you know what? We have 3 million people in here. We're going to look for the same. We're going to look for those brains right here inside our country. But yes, as Zephyr K9 says, the education system is so messed up and our literacy testing stinks. That's what we need to fix. That's why there's somehow, how is it possible that those highly skilled, those brilliant engineers are all outside the United States? No, there must be inside the United States, but those have been and said, hey, you know what? You are not welcome here. You are not welcome here. Americans seem to not be welcome. And you know that is part of the destruction of what Democrats have done. So I don't know why Trump doesn't come clear about this. He should be very clear in those terms.
Jobs like we've never had before.
But sir, you said you changed your position. You plan to go to the Carter funeral?
No, if he changed his position, well, back in, I already showed you this the other day. In 2016, Megyn Kelly asked about highly skilled immigration. The H-1B program is neither high skilled nor immigration. These are temporary foreign workers. To be clear, in that video that we just saw, he never spoke about H-1B. He never mentioned the H-1B. He just said, bring the best of the best. Bring the best of the best, and maybe that would be with the O1. The O1B, and maybe you can have a hybrid, an O1B based on a job. The problem is that when you say we need a lot of people coming in, is how you process and verify the merits and the actual skills of those people. The actual skills of those people. There's another video here that I made sure to include. I don't know. I can't believe that this is happening. I'm going to play it as soon as I add it here. And this was from 2016 as well.
Well, first of all, I think, and I know the H-1B very well, and it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers, and we should end it.
We should end it. It was in 2016. Two things can be true at the same time. I'm trying to look at this in the most unbiased way. You have to get rid of H-1B, and you have to bring the best engineers from abroad. But how many of those engineers? Like if you let's say one number, because Elon Musk was saying first he said 300,000, then he said no, it's just 5,000 tops. Let's say that the number is 100,000 engineers in different. Adrienne Curry, I was watching your live stream this morning, and now you're watching mine. Thank you for being a member, Adrienne. Nice to have you here. Two things can be true at the same time. You can get rid of H-1B and bring 100,000 great engineers from abroad. But how can you verify that? And how many people would you need to verify those engineers' credentials? Because it is like that conundrum. You know, in the math world, there's one thing when a mathematician has a breakthrough, and has this huge proof that could be like entire volumes long. There's this conundrum. The mathematician gets to this amazing proof, but then you need other mathematicians that maybe nobody has done in the history of humankind. And this one person gets to this amazing proof and spans like 10 volumes, a single proof, mathematics proof. It is perfectly feasible. We're talking about that kind of numbers. And you need other mathematicians equally brilliant to verify that the proof is right. You get what I'm saying? How can you know, can you be certain that this one guy nailed the math proof if you don't have other mathematicians to verify it. And you will need the cream of the crop of mathematicians to be able to verify something that nobody has ever done. Again, you understand, right? So you have, for example, you have the best of the best engineers. You have to bring the best of the best engineers from abroad. The idea would be to have other engineers to verify that they are actually great. Maybe you have some kind of a reference program, but at the same time, if you have a reference or have references, anything regarding references can be exploited, can be weaponized. You say mathematician, awesome. How do you say that? Yeah, but it's a reality. Who are you going to put to verify if these 100,000 engineers are the real deal? Or like that novel, you remember the novel, The Right Stuff? They made a movie with Ed Harris. The Right Stuff. Did you read The Right Stuff? I love that book and that movie. It was such amazing. The Right Stuff. I have goosebumps right now. I have goosebumps. Why? Because I remember I read that book as a teenager that really wanted to go to the United States. I want to become an American citizen. And The Right Stuff, all the story about Chuck Yeager and all these astronauts, you know that I've always been a fan of space and aircraft. I still have massive goosebumps thinking about that. All was this American ingenuity of all these men who, well, were at the edge of science and engineering, and we should bring that back. We should bring that back. Yeah, everything can be forged. Credentials, references, everything. How can you verify that the people that you're going to bring into the United States, again, good question. This is absolutely true. You can, if somebody outside can forge, can hijack the system, anybody inside can hijack the system as well. That is a given. That is a given. That is a huge problem. My issue with the way that they are talking about this is how not only Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Donald Trump himself, they are making this priority of bringing people from abroad. That is something necessary. I've said this many times. You want the brains of this worldwide brain marketplace to be in the United States or in your country. Maybe you're from the UK. You want those brains being in the UK, or maybe you are in Canada. No matter in which country you are, you want your country to have the best brains of the world, regardless of where they come from, and be able to give them the tools and the infrastructure that they want. But you have to have the infrastructure, and the infrastructure has to be working with your actual native population, your native genius. Your native genius. Yes, it's a Tom Wolfe, Salsila, correct. From Tom Wolfe. It's something that the way that if you speak like, we are going to identify the unsung heroes, imagine a campaign like that. The unsung engineering heroes of the United States. You don't have to say that they are white. You don't have to say that they are black, brown, yellow, blue, pink. You don't care about that. You don't care about race, skin color. We are going to find those gems in our nation, and are not only inside our nation, but also outside our nation. Why not? You say things in that order, and you explain that there's this worldwide brain marketplace, this brain marketplace, we could call it, and it is mandatory to have every single brain at your disposal, the most brilliant minds. But realize that H-1B has been weaponized to, and there was an article about Tesla as well, that they fired I don't know how many workers, and sadly in many ways corporations only care about profit. How can we cut costs? How can we exploit people in this way? People who come from abroad, people who are going to fear of being fired. But again, there's no easy answer to this, but there should be a more intelligent approach to talk about this topic. And I'm looking at you, Vivek Ramaswamy, and not insult like millions of Americans. Oh, you are dumb because of you watch TV and you watch this sort of TV shows, and this TV shows sort of brainwash your mind into being mediocre. No, man, I think that's not it. I'm pretty sure there are many brilliant engineers out there whose families watch these TV shows and it didn't make a dent into their IQ or performance. I think that doesn't make sense. I think that is insulting to many American people. And the way they reacted, that they have this tantrum, all of them, I don't justify it. I can understand the rationale behind that, but it's not the way to have this conversation. I don't know that they just all of them went like off the rails at the same time. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? Let me highlight your chat.